It goes without being said, this isn't good for Alabama, not good at all. But here's the biggest question, and I want you guys to let me know down below in the comment section what you think. How much is this going to hurt Alabama moving forward? Is it going to hurt them just a little bit, or is it going to hurt them a lot? I guess we'll have to wait and see. I'm going to start off this video with a question. Do some of y'all remember a couple of days ago, and this was before the Nick Saban news, in which I stated, I told you guys, hey, I know the college football season's over, but around here on this channel, you might as well stick around because there is no off season. We're going to be covering stuff nonstop. I don't know if I manifested this. I don't know if I spoke it into existence, but that is exactly what has transpired in these past couple of days. To say it's been hectic would be an understatement. I can't remember the last time this much stuff was going on in the college football world. And let me throw this in there. I'm not just referring to the Alabama drama news because we're not even going to be talking about that in this video. There's a ton of other stuff going on in the college football world that we got to speak on, including Ohio State just got some big, and I mean some big time news. But now we also got to talk about this as well. The side effects of Nick Saban leaving Alabama. What exactly am I referring to? Well, Alabama's star wide receiver, he's entered the portal, and it looks like one of Alabama's rivals is going to be picking him up. Or at least according to some sources, they're the early frontrunner to land him. Y'all shouldn't be shocked by this news. I told you guys a couple days ago. I know a lot of you watching, you just like to watch during college football season, and that's all fine and dandy. But you gotta stay tuned in the offseason because we're gonna be making videos nonstop, and here we are. There's a lot going on, and oh yeah, how can I forget to mention this? Oklahoma just got a new quarterback, and it's a controversial pickup to say the least. You'll see exactly what I'm talking about in just a second, and it is more than safe to say it's gonna be a jam-packed video. Strap in, buckle up, get you a snack, get you some popcorn, or get you a favorite meal you like to eat when you watch a video, because trust me, I do the same thing. It's Friday, and what a better way to cap off your Friday and your week than a college football video. Hope you guys enjoy, and as always, real quick, let me throw this in there. If you're enjoying the content, consider subscribing. It helps on the channel tremendously. I'm not here to pitch you on subscribing to the channel. It's simple. If you like college football content and you want to see more and you want to help out the channel, it's 100% free. We'd love to have you here. It really means a lot when we gain new subscribers because it lets me know there's new people out here enjoying the content. I've jibber-jabbered enough. All right, Matt, blah, blah, blah. Shut the crap up. Now, without further ado, let's get into it. All right, first things first. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, you've got to take a look at this. And I think this is funny because it is somewhat slid under the radar, but I'm glad I caught this. In the midst of all the Saban drama news going on and everything else, a quarterback just committed and signed to Oklahoma. And I know what you're sitting there thinking, well, Matt, why are we talking about this? It's probably not a big deal, and I beg to differ. In the transfer portal, Oklahoma picked up a quarterback that goes by name, and this is going to ring a bell, Casey Thompson. Yep, that's right. You heard me correctly. Casey freaking Thompson is going to Oklahoma. Why is this such a big deal, at least in my humble opinion? Because number one, Casey Thompson has played at now 4 schools. And number two, he's been playing ball since 2017 or 2018. And y'all know how I feel about these 5th, 6th, and 7th year super seniors. I don't like it. It's bad for the game. If you feel differently, that's fine. But this messes up recruiting. College football is for young men. It's for people of the ages 18 to 22, every now and then a 23-year-old. But once you start getting into situations like this, it just ruins it. Because think about it. You had a guy in Jackson Arnold who just signed with Oklahoma, and he's been practicing and thinking he's going to be the starting quarterback moving forward. And meanwhile, Jackson Arnold is thinking he's going to be the guy, just like that, out of thin air, out of nowhere. Casey Thompson, a 9th year super senior, comes in to steal the job. And I have to make this clear. I don't blame Oklahoma's head coach, Brent Venables, for going after him. You got to do what's best for a team. And I don't blame Casey Thompson for doing this either. You got to do what's best for you. I'm hating the game, not the player. And that's how you got to view it, at least to me. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. And I'm not going to give you the run through on Casey Thompson because you know who this guy is, or you should know. He's played quarterback at Texas, Nebraska, FAU, and now Oklahoma. Good gosh almighty. It feels like it was forever ago when he was playing quarterback for Texas. And in reality, come to think about it, it was forever ago. I could sit up here for the next 6 minutes and rant and go on a tangent as to why I don't like this. I'm going to leave it at that for now. We'll do this. Let me know your thoughts on this down below, especially OU fans. I want to hear what y'all got to say. Moving along here to our second topic, this is huge news that is also, I think, going to slide under the radar because of everything going on with Alabama. Ohio State star running back TreVeyon Henderson has announced he's coming back next year. I have made this evidently clear on the channel for the past year or so. TreVeyon Henderson is one of my favorite running backs in all the country. I love his game, love everything about him. I could sit up here for the next 6 minutes and go on a rant and tangent on as to how much I love me some TreVeyon Henderson. He's awesome. And And what's even crazier about all this is, remember, Ohio State also got Quinshon Judkins from Ole Miss. It goes without being said, Ohio State has the best running back tandem or duo, whatever you want to call it, in college football next year, and it's not even going to be close. You can't even compare it. And me personally, I like TreVeyon Henderson more than Quinshon Judkins, but I also like Judkins. I've just always been a big TreVeyon Henderson fan. I love the way he runs. I love the way he plays the game. He fits the modern era of college football perfectly. Can do a little bit of everything, and he is so explosive. He is one of the most underrated running backs in the nation. And I know what some of you may be sitting there saying, well, Matt, how are you calling him underrated? We know he's good. But that's the problem. To me, he's not just good. He's elite. I expect TreVeyon Henderson to ball out next year, of course, but I also believe he's going to be a great running back in the NFL whenever he chooses to go. I had to share this news, and man, just thinking about it, Quinshon Judkins and Henderson in the same backfield. Whew, that's going to be scary. And you also got to talk about this. They're going to be fresh. It's not like Henderson or Judkins is going to be the workhorse like Derrick Henry. No. They're probably going to get about 12 to 15 carries per game each, and they're going to be fresh carries. And that's what's going to make this tandem so dynamic, because when they get the ball, they're not going to be wore down. They're going to be ready to go. That is huge, man. I could talk about that all day, but we got to get a move on to the main topic of the main reason you clicked onto this video. What in the world is going on with Alabama and their star wide receiver? As we all know, Nick Saban retired. I'm not going under that. If you didn't hear the news, you got to be living under a rock. But here's what I do need to go over. Greg Byrne and Nick Saban told all the players that are currently playing for Alabama, do not enter the transfer portal until 72 hours and wait until we get our new head coach. They wanted these Alabama players to at least see who the new head coach was going to be, talk to him, and then, if you want to enter the portal, feel free to do so. Because remember, whenever a head coach leaves, the portal reopens for that said team. The portal is open for Alabama players. They can leave with no penalty whatsoever. But earlier today, and we already reported on this, it somehow got leaked out that Isaiah Bond, he didn't officially enter the portal, but he's filled out his paperwork. So yeah, it is what it is, and obviously this is a detrimental blow to the Alabama team if he does leave, because this is arguably their best wide receiver this year outside of Jermaine Burton. And I would argue and say that Jermaine Burton and Isaiah Bond, they were 1A, 1B this year. But I definitely think Isaiah Bond turned it on in the later half of the season, especially with that catch on 4th and 31 against Auburn in the Iron Bowl. And I think that's the reason a lot of people know his name, just because of that catch. But outside of that, he was fantastic all season long. But getting back on track here, like I was saying, the news comes out that he has officially filed the paperwork to enter the portal. Although he hasn't officially submitted the paperwork, it's filled out. It seems like it's all but a done deal. And of course, I would have liked for him to wait until the Kalen DeBoer news came out just to give the new head coach a shot. But hey, I can't fault him either way. You came to play for Nick Saban, and he's gone. And I don't fault any Alabama players for leaving, and I hope all my Alabama fans are wishing these guys the best of luck if they do decide to depart. It is what it is. I don't think it's a big deal, and I understand it completely. Well, take a look at this. According to an insider that does all this recruitment stuff and whatnot, it's looking like Isaiah Bond, he's going to be going to Texas. This is according to an insider that does the recruiting stuff for Texas. He is predicting Isaiah Bond to go to Texas. And I'm not going to lie, this makes a ton of sense from every angle and standpoint. Texas has a great offensive-minded head coach in Steve Sarkisian, who was the offensive coordinator at Alabama not too long ago. To go on top of that, Texas is a top team. They beat Alabama last year. They made the playoff. And also remember, with Sark Nato and Quinn Ewers running the show, there's no uncertainty there, and we saw what Texas is going to do with great wide receivers. They're going to get on the ball. I will say, though, and some comments are bringing this up, it's definitely interesting that the news came out he's going to be going to Texas only about an hour or two after it was announced that he's going to be entering the portal. And now it raises this question. Is there some tampering involved? And I'll just be honest with you, heck to it, yeah, there's tampering involved. You got to be out of your mind if you don't think people are cheating left and right in college football and they're not tampering left and right. It happens every single day. But I'll also tell you this. Do I care if tampering was involved? No, not really. Don't care whatsoever. Everybody's doing it. The only thing that would get me upset is if Texas reached out to him and said, hey, I know your head coach is leaving. If you want to come here, we'll give you $1 million. That's the only thing that would get my gears grinding. I wouldn't like that, but anything else where Bond's just talking to people, part of the Texas program, it doesn't get to me. It is worth throwing in there, though. Kalen DeBoer was a pretty good offensive coach at Washington and everywhere he's been. We saw what he did with his wide receivers at Washington last year. Maybe Isaiah Bond here decides, you know what? I might come back to Alabama. You never know. Remember, just because players enter the portal, it doesn't mean they're automatically leaving. Although it's a good indicator, there's still a slight chance they might come back. This is definitely something to keep your eyes on, and I think DeBoer's number one mission, or not number one, but his top mission is to get Isaiah Bond to come back. I'm not going to say Alabama needs him because, let's be real, Alabama doesn't need anybody, but you definitely like and want him to come back. It goes without being said, this isn't good for Alabama, not good at all, but here's the biggest question, and I want you guys to let me know down below in the comment section what you think. How much is this going to hurt Alabama moving forward? Is it going to hurt them just a little bit, or is it going to hurt them a lot? I guess we'll have to wait and see. But for now, at least, according to the reports, it looks like Texas is the front runner to get them. Let me know your thoughts down below, but